Hey, wanted to make a quick video. I was reading a book yesterday. It was a refresher course on physics, and it brought up renewable resources, renewable energy resources. And so I kind of was just glancing at that part. I've done a little bit of research into those things, but it brought up something called tidal power stations that I hadn't really heard too much about. So I was like, okay, tidal power stations. Well, that makes sense. Tides go in and out, and I'm curious. Let's see what's up with that. So I did a little bit of research, found some information. It's essentially, there are a couple of different models nowadays, but the video that I first started with was about essentially just wind turbines underwater. It collects energy from both the ebb and the flow of the current, so of the tides. And obviously the tide goes in and goes out every day. So another video was just kind of hitting home. It's constant, it's consistent. Every day you can have this amount of energy, and it said that it would be going for hours and hours throughout the day, because the water is constantly either going in or going out, essentially. You'd have a lot of power in that. And then you could also charge up batteries for when the power is low. So I thought it was actually a very interesting idea. There have been a few projects that have taken place around the world, and we have a few projects here in the United States that they are kind of dabbling with it. Sounds like one of the primary things about it right now is cost. It is, newer technology, a newer resource, and so it is going to be more expensive. Obviously, with the technology too, we're still kind of figuring out how best to work with the resources that we have, the most efficient way to move forward with it. So like the one video just had the one style, and then the next video had 3 different styles, and so it's still pretty experimental. But it sounds really, really cool, really interesting. Of course, one of the primary things is how much is it going to disrupt the underwater ecosystem. And so one of the videos also had a study related to it that kind of looked at the amount of debris that washed up with the tides and various things. So I think that, we're getting good data on it, and I would love to see it more widespread. Obviously we've been really hitting the solar panels, and I think those are great. And I think we need to get off our fossil fuels as soon as possible too. So I think that this is great. I think this is really cool. I'd love to see what happens with it. I'd love to see more of it. Like I said, I hadn't really heard much about it, and I think it's really, really cool. So let's hear more about it. Let's talk about it, and let's see what happens. So I do know there is technology nowadays for on the individual level. They have a little wind turbine that you can use. You can just put on your car window, and it can spin the turbine, and then you can charge your phone or whatever. And then that is actually versatile enough. You can put it in water as well, and you can collect from the current there too. So if it's coming down to, the individual sector, and it's something that we can adopt, I think that we are definitely a step closer to making it happen on a larger scale. So I would be interested to see how all the technologies kind of combine and what we land on for this. So I really want to see what happens. I think it's a great initiative, and obviously more renewables, way good, way good. So that's all. What are your thoughts on it?